right, guys, this is Mobile Gamer. We are back with another Raid Shadow Legends free-to-play mystery shard only run video. Today we're going to be looking at Hydra. We had a guest that was interested in seeing some Hydra stuff, so we're going to do a Hydra video. Now, this is just going to be just, I guess you could say, a sort of tutorial. I don't really mess with Hydra too much. I just really want the box and that's it. So when I started playing this game, literally the only thing I cared about was getting in here and getting this first box. That was it. There was literally nothing else I cared about. I didn't want to get the best damage. I didn't want like none of that mattered. We just want to start getting this box. And that's really it. Honestly, you can get Mithrala from this fight if you just get the first box. That's it. You don't even need to do a ton of damage. You don't need to get into hard mode. You don't need to do any of that. Literally, none of it is necessary. Now, what could help you, and this is something I've said before, is that you want to get yourself in an active clan that can possibly beat the Hydra. All right. That is something you really would like because if they can kill this Hydra, then you get two boxes. So even if you get the first box and your clan beats this, you get two of these summon shards for the Mortal Soulstones. You get twice as many clan gold from this, so you'll get 400 up to 480 clan gold, and then you get double these boxes, and you get two chances at getting a Mithrala shard, which basically means you can get 1 to 2 Mithrala shards times 2. So if you're in a clan that's not beating the Hydra, essentially what's going to happen is you're going to get 1 to 2 shards per week. All right, that means at best it would take 50 weeks to get her. All right, that's like the best case scenario. However, if you're getting it two boxes, the best case scenario is literally 25 weeks. All right, so you want to get somebody in here that is, going to do the job. Now, real quick, since I understand that I am a, mystery shard only, video, I understand that most of you guys are going to be using different heroes. So what I would say is there's some heroes in here that will help you do this pretty easy. All right, one of those, all right, everyone just got, and who is that? Mr. Ninja. All right, this guy is a really good hero in many aspects of the game. I mean, when you go in here, I don't even know if he's at, yeah, see 4.8 in Hydra. Look at that. And the reason he's so good is because he has the HP burns. HP burn is by far and away the most simple way, all right, to get damage on the boss. And if you have somebody who can do AoE burns, literally any hero that can do AoE burns, you're set. You literally already have what you need to get that first box. All right, so now let's look at his skills real quick. So he has the decreased defense debuff on one enemy. This is the one that matters. All right. Attacks 3 times at random. Each hit has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 3 turns. Guess what? If you book them out, I don't know if you have them booked or not. That might be that might be asking for much. But if you booked him out, you got a 100% chance. That means he's going to get 3 burns off, hopefully on 3 different heads. If not, it's going to happen. It's going to be random. That's how it works. When used against bosses, will instantly activate any HP burn debuffs, including HP burn debuffs placed by this skill. That is an insane skill. So that means he's not only going to light them up, but he's going to blow them up with those burns. All right. So this guy is insanely good for Hydra, and everyone just got him for free. If you didn't get him, though, well, there's always other heroes. If you've been playing for a while, all right, there's other heroes that can do this. One of them is a nice little orc hero that you have that everyone got for free, probably. Ardak. Now, he can extend HP burns. Now, if you have both of these heroes, I would just throw them both in the fight, to be honest. Like, literally just throw them both in and let them go to town and get some burns. Then he's got an attack on all enemies before attacking instantly activates HP burn debuffs on each enemy. Has a 75% chance of placing a decreased attack debuff. Insanely good. He attacks all enemies 2 times, actually. The first hit has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn debuff and restores the champion's destroyed max HP by 10% for each HP burn debuff placed by the skill, and he heals. And I don't need to go into the skills too much, but basically, yeah, this dude is a beast for this kind of fight. All right, so if you have either one of these heroes that were given to everyone for free, honestly, I would just recommend building them up and making them as defensive as you possibly can so they stay alive, and just let them light people up with burns. That's it. It doesn't even matter about their attack at that point. You literally just need to have them stay alive, and there you go. Now, he's an HP hero, so you're going to give him HP. His damage is based on HP, so I would just give him as much HP as possible. He'll just keep healing himself up. Unfortunately, Ninja is an attack-based hero, so yeah, he is going to have to need attack if you want him to do more damage. But if he's having trouble staying alive, the burn is all you need in the beginning, so honestly, I wouldn't even care. I would just do whatever. But yes, attack is good. If you can keep him alive, great. All right, so now other heroes that can do this. I don't remember 100% what I don't remember a lot of their what is that? Their factions. So I gotta make sure I know where I gotta see if I can remember where these guys are. There's some heroes here that are really good for this, and I don't think this is it. Bannerlord, right? No, maybe Sacred Order. I think he's Sacred Order. We're gonna see. We'll find out. There he is, Mordecai. This guy, this little guy with his little freaking whatever that torch thing. All right, so what does he do? He has a 30% chance of decreasing the target's turn meter by 10% and has a 60% instead if the target's under HP burn, so that's good. 75% chance of decreasing turn meters of enemies by 15%, and then it has a 75% chance of placing an HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns, places a 50% increased attack buff on all allies for 3 turns. There you go. There's your HP burn AoE. This guy can easily help you get some burns in there. And then the other one is the one that everyone will get eventually, which is what got me to unlock the Hydra, and that is in Demon Spawn. We all know who it is. You can get him from Tag Team, and honestly, he's very, very good, and you need to get him as soon as you can. So just focus on getting his pieces every single week. It sucks, but you know what? Do it. It's worth it. He has his HP burn effect on his A1. He has a provoke, which is good for Hydra as well. But here's the big thing: has a 55% chance of placing an HP burn debuff for 2 turns when when an attacker hits him. So basically, that means is that every time the Hydra decides to hit everyone like she does every single 5 seconds, yeah, they're gonna light themselves on fire. So those are the ones that are like the biggest ones. Are there others? Yes, there's plenty of other ones. I'm not going to dig into each and every single one of them. What you want is someone who can stay alive and someone who can burn. That's it. That's all you want. So let's go into Clan Boss and go check this out. Now, in the beginning, this is going to be a little bit difficult, obviously. You don't have any of those heroes. So what do you do? I mean, I think I have this team set up. Yeah, we do. This is my team, actually. We'll go into that later. So essentially, you're not going to have anyone. So what you're going to need to do is just hope for the best. So let's just say you have these heroes. We're going to say that the starting 5 heroes are the ones that you're going to bring in here. All right, now you've got the starting 5. Now, who do you bring extra? Now, you want to think about this first. One, you're going to want to have heroes that can do damage. I mean, we have poisons. Burn would be great, but we don't have it. So unfortunately, you can't do anything about it. We have attack up. We have removal of debuffs. All these things are very good. We have a shield. All right, we have some healing. Both of these two have bolster set. If you're in the beginning of the game and you've been following my guides, they'll probably have shield sets at this point. You've got a hero that can do defense down, and then you've got a healer who can speed up the team. Now, this team is not optimal, all right? Let's just be clear, not optimal at all. Now, we're going to want somebody who can remove debuffs from the boss, all right? Now, we don't really have that in the beginning of the game. I mean, just off the top of my head, I mean, I'm thinking Gerda, that's why she's in my team. We have, where is he? Ryan. There's a couple of different heroes that do it. You're not going to have that. So basically, you have a couple of choices here. You can stick with this team, or you can possibly just take everybody out, have your defense up and attack up. You can take her out, take him out, and you can just do a bunch of damage. Now, we're going to try it. Actually, no, we're going to try it first with this team. Now, let's just say who's somebody that we'll all get. Here we go. Whatever, Diablos. Sure, why not? Let's start on auto. Let's see how much damage this team can do. Honestly, a lot of this is going to be kind of testing for me as well. But right now, we're just kind of looking at what you have versus what you are going to have eventually. So you can see the damage differences. Now, it also depends on the rotation. Sometimes there's going to be a terrible rotation where they kill you. But now, as you see, just having those 2 shield sets on Valerie and on Spirit Host is going to really help kind of boost your survivability in that first few rounds where everyone usually dies. All right, now remember, my heroes are all level 60. They're all maxed out. They all have their turns, and their skills are maxed. They have their blessings. Like, there's all kinds of stuff that they have. All right, so yeah, mainly in the beginning, this is all that matters. If you don't have a full 60 team, honestly, you shouldn't even be in here because you're not going to survive long enough. If you can try to get some damage, great. In 3 fights, that's great. But look at this. We're already at 835, all right, with this team. And once again, like I say, that's the skill that's going to kill your whole team. That's the one that sucks. So now, this team obviously couldn't get the box in the first run. Now, if this is your best team, that's a problem. All right. That's going to be a big problem. Reason being is that you need to hit, we're going to free regroup. All right. Reason being is that in order to get this first box, you need at least 1.67 million. Now, if your best team is doing 800,000, that's a tough call because that means with 2 fights now you have to do another 800,000. So optimally in the beginning, you're going to want to try and get a team together or just keep replaying it until you get the damage you want. That's kind of it's annoying in the beginning. I'm not going to lie. You're going to want a team that can do somewhere in the range of 1 to 1.5 million, somewhere in that range. So let's go back in and see if we can fix this. So now let's just say now they're going to die. So we don't want her. We don't want her. All right. She is not totally necessary. The defense down is nice for that first round. So I would say yes. If you have some other damage dealers, here we go. We'll bring in some of the other ones. We'll bring in these two. All right. Now let's see what these guys can do. Let's see the difference and see if they can do more or less damage having more attack in that first round. Let's see what happens. Because remember, we did 884,000 last time. Really, the question is whether or not you're going to stay alive. That's the main thing. So having a reviver in here could be very helpful for you. But to be honest, in the beginning, that reviver isn't going to do anything because he's just going to waste his turn reviving rather than just doing some damage for you. So there you go. We got some stuff going on. They're going to get provoked. They're going to get feared. As soon as that big attack goes off, that's when everything goes to hell. See, you're going to start seeing people die. Everyone's already dead. So is it a big difference? Not really, is essentially the problem here. See? So just having a bunch of damage dealers in here isn't going to solve your problem. We need to come up with better ways. So here we go. Let's end battle. So now, free regroup. We don't want to keep that. All right, so let's see. So now this didn't work. Okay. So what do? Well, we have a speed lead. So we have an option here. We can put a defensive hero in the front. That's an option. I think the only one I have, there's certain heroes you want to avoid, all right? And just for the beginning. And the reason I say that is because sometimes it's bad. Like if you bring Templar, you would think, oh, we can block damage. That's great. Well, guess what? The Hydra steals your buffs. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to have block damage on the boss. Same thing with Executioner. He has a counterattack, also kind of bad. He steals it. Unless you have someone who can do protected buffs, which you're probably not going to have in the beginning, not a good idea. So what I would probably say is you want heroes that are going to stay alive and keep your team alive. That's probably your best bet. So let's just say we have Grumbler. All right, he increases 25% HP in dungeons. This is not a dungeon, unfortunately. So you would want to switch him to the lead so that people can stay alive longer. We have Mr. Grumbler, and then we're going to take out. Let's see. We'll take out these two for right this second. We want utility. All right. So now she can do utility. She has defense down. She has attack down. We could probably take her out, and she poisons. All right. So this is actually a really good choice as far as having someone who can do some damage. And then if we have someone who could do like weaken, that would be nice. Someone who's defensive. Marquis is a defensive hero. She can stay alive a little bit in here. And so is Bogwalker. They're all heroes that can kind of stay alive a little bit longer. Now, he's defense-based, she's defense-based, attack, and HP, I believe, if I remember correctly. So having a HP hero is going to help him and help them stay alive, but we don't have any speed lead, all right, and we don't have a attack up. So let's see what happens when we do this. Like I said, we're just trying out different teams to kind of see what will work better in here. Is it defensive teams? See, we already have attack down and some poisons going. We have a defense down, at least on one hero. And then Marquis comes in with some crazy damage. We have Ally Protect from Grumbler. So those big hits hopefully will just kill him. That's kind of why Grumbler is kind of good. I hope that's his name. I think that's Grumbler. A lot of the dwarves look the same to me. We also have defense up when we use Bogwalker, so that's a good option. Now the problem here is that we don't have anyone that can remove debuffs. That's the other problem. So as soon as people start getting hit and getting debuffed, that's it. They've got their debuffs. There's no removing it. But as you can see, Grumbler kind of helped out with that Ally Protect a little bit. So we're still alive. The question is are we going to do more damage? That's the question here with using a team like this. Grumbler, funny enough, he actually stays alive a lot longer. There you go. Now, they have lifesteal, which is nice. But the problem here is that, as you can see, there's one small problem here. And we're going to retry it again once we see who does the most damage. All right, so we got defense up. So basically, same damage. All right, so let's check this out now. Let's end free regroup. So now let's just see. We're going to pull one of these guys out. Grumbler's going to stay, funny enough. She's going to stay because she can... Actually, no, we're going to take her out real quick. I want to see what happens if we bring in... Nope, not you. You. And we put you in the lead. Let's see what happens with the speed lead. And there are going to be other heroes that are going to help you out. Right now, we're just messing around with rares, and then we'll work our way up into the higher heroes, just so we can see what the difference is in damage and what happens. And also having the ability to remove debuffs, see? So that everyone's not feared on that first round. And we're faster, so we're going to get a 10% boost in speed, which means maybe we'll get a turn off quicker. See, we blocked those debuffs, so that's good. That's where Spirit Host comes in handy. Spirit Host is actually on my team right now, my main team, which is why I'm bringing her back. I know she's good, and I know she works really well in this fight. Now, Grumbler is, surprisingly enough, a pretty good tank for this fight. As long as he doesn't get his buff stealed like he just did. See, now the defense up from Bogwalker is kind of helping here. The problem here is that we're getting disabled way too much. See what I mean? We got too many fears, too many provokes, things like that that are just going to stop us from actually getting attacks in, which is why speed is so important. You want to get faster and faster as quickly as possible. So the defense up is good. We're working pretty well here. There you go. We got her doing some damage. All right. See, everyone's dying now. Can we do more than 800k is the question. Oh, and there we go. Everyone gets killed, and Grumbler's back. See what I mean? This fight sucks, all right? So, honestly, in the beginning of the game, you're not going to do much damage. Now, you're probably not going to have 3 sets of level 60s. I mean, let's just be honest, if you're just starting. But as you can see, most of these teams, even just throwing a couple of random heroes together, will do a reasonable amount of damage. So, at this point, it's really just finding 3 teams that are level 60 that can stay alive and do enough damage. 2 teams that are like this will get you that first box, is essentially what I'm showing you. That doesn't really matter what team you do as long as you kind of try to figure out a team that kind of has synergy. Let's take Apothecary out. Let's take her out and take him out. Let's see like a secondary team, because you're going to probably use your first team as the starting 5 and then all those other heroes. So if we were going to pick any other heroes that were going to do damage in here, I mean, once again, you could bring Pig Boy. Where is he? You could bring him as your defense down. All right, if you wanted to. That's an option. I'm trying to see who has in all battles. I don't think he's all battles, is he? No, it's dungeons. I wanted to see if we had somebody who had HP in all battles. Let's see if we have another speed hero. I think we have, actually we do have a speed hero. She has speed in all battles. So she could be a healer. She could be your speed lead. And it's 13%, so it's actually more than Spirit Host. Now, we don't have an attack up. We have defense down, which is really all you need for this fight, honestly, because these guys don't have attack. You don't need attack from them. Now, we don't have anyone in here that really does burn, but let's just say, hypothetically speaking, we bring Grinner. Now, he can remove the buffs from the boss, and he can revive. Let's see if this helps. Like I said, this is a rare situation right now, literally. Like I said, we're doing rare stuff. Now, Grinner does have a shield set as well. I think he has a basic shield set. So let's see how much damage these guys can do. So it looks like they're already in a pretty good spot right now, 540. Now, unfortunately, everyone's going to get provoked, and we don't have someone who can remove. Now, there is a other barbarian that can remove debuffs or just block debuffs. I forgot her name because I haven't used her. We had her a while ago. I forgot her name. We'll go look in a second. It's going to bother me that I don't know. Look at that. Everyone survived except for Pigman. She's got a really good heal, though, made in there. Mother Superior. Now, as you can see, they're actually not doing terrible here. They really don't like Pig Boy. All right, there goes Pig Boy. Now, as long as there's no provoke or fear, which there is on Grinner, he can revive. Look at Grumbler. Look at Grumbler go. He's like the MVP right now. Even though he's not. But he kind of is. See how much damage comes in? It's so much damage, and because of the speed down. Oh, yeah, there you go. Healing them up. Healing up the grins. Now, if he can get one of my heroes back up, it would be nice. There you go. He can remove debuffs. He's got that AoE attack. Really, in this fight, speed is what's going to be your best friend. You need your heroes to be fast to get more damage off. He's not going to revive, apparently. It doesn't seem like he wants to do a revive, and he's already dead, so we're just going to keep it on auto. But look, 878. So here's a secondary team, and it looks like who's the most damaged? It's even across the board, basically. Marquis is basically the strongest, but yeah, this is a team that can work. I mean, like I said, you have a speed lead, you have defense down, and then you have heroes that stay alive long enough to kill. Granted, didn't really do much. Now, let's just start changing things up. So now let's look at different teams. And this is going to be more advanced stuff. So now, what I did in the beginning was I tried to bring her in, and I tried to bring him in. Why did I do that? One, she's got a 19% speed lead. All right, that's the first thing. Very useful, okay? Speed up, speed up. These both have turn meter boosts. So you're basically going to try and outspeed the boss with this team. All right, so that's essentially what you're going to do there. Then you've got your Kale. All right, we've got Spirit Host for removing debuffs. And then we need a defense down. So like I said, once again, we'll bring more Maiden. And then if you can bring more damage to this fight, that would be great. Otherwise, I would say a Reviver. Ryan takes a long time to get, so I don't know if I really want to throw her in this fight yet. I don't want to do that. You could conceivably bring more speed, more damage. There's a lot of things in here. Grush is a pretty good option here. He's a little bit further along, so we'll bring her first. All right, we'll try this. So now we've got 19% speed. We've got a couple of epics going on in here, and we're starting to advance a little. Let's see if they can do more damage here or less. And I have a feeling this team specifically might be a little higher, possibly the same damage. This is a bad team. This is a bad round to be doing this video for. Like with that giant explosion, it's a bad example of what you're probably going to see most of the time. Now that fear is kind of the biggest thing. So having heroes with high resist, this is one of those fights where every stat kind of matters. Accuracy matters because you have to land your debuffs. You know, resistance matters so you don't get feared every 5 seconds. Or having someone who can constantly block debuffs and remove stuff. Ooh, they really don't like her. All right. What's going to happen? Who's going to get their turns? We're feared to hell right now. Feared to hell. Oh, there you go. They broke it. Did they break a million? Will they break a million? Boom, look at that, 1,000,000 damage. So now you're starting to see a little bit better of a team, all right? And the reason is because they can keep their faster. That's it. That's the only reason. And look at this. She's taking hits like it's her business. Look at that. She's like, screw you. I'm going to keep going. And she has speed down, which is also very helpful. But she's taking this like a champ. Look at this. If you didn't think Haikatun could take a hit, man. She's getting beat. She's getting beat up. There you go. She's dead. So there you go. 1,000,000 damage team. All right. We broke 1,000,000. That's kind of where you want to be. Probably a little higher, but this is basically what you want. Now let's free regroup again. So now, how do we make this team better? All right. So this is how I work the games. I just kind of kept changing heroes and making things better. So now maybe we take her out. Let's see what happens if we bring in Grush. Now, what does he have? He has defense. I found that speed is always going to be the best thing in here. So now we'll bring in another epic. All right, let's see if he can help. Now he has an AoE attack. He's defensive, and he has a heal, and he has a attack down. See? So now, and sometimes crit damage down. So now they have less. They do less damage, but we're going to not have a defense down. So let's see if that helps. Having defense down, does it help in this fight specifically? So now we've got some healing, so hopefully they don't steal it. So we're going to heal back while the annoying attacks are going on now. You're going to see that survivability in this fight is more important than most fights, because if you can't stay alive, then you can't fight. And we have a leech on Grush's A1, which, if I'm being honest, doesn't really help too much in this fight. They really hate us. There we go. So now Grush, the reason Grush is okay is because he has that heal, which is really nice. Ooh, there you go. Get some more damage. We're actually getting attacks in. It's crazy. There you go. All the debuffs are gone. Oh, wow, they actually went for what's-her-face. And there goes my girl. And there goes everybody. So nope, having that defense down helped our damage a lot. So we're not going to do that, all right? So there you go. So this is something that you should think about. Don't bring Rush. No, I'm not saying don't bring Rush. He's actually pretty good. All right, so now this didn't work. So what do we do? Now, if I'm being honest, the first 6 months, unless you're using RTAC or Ninja or any of them, that's honestly all you can do. We've got people like Spy Master. All right, she's got some skills that are going to work in this fight. She's got block buffs. She's got a whole bunch of stuff. All right, that's really good. So we can kind of remove things. Um, so that's probably your best option here. Having her to remove debuffs is really good. Obviously, he's good. Let's see what happens if we bring in a defense down. We've got speed. We've got this. Really, the only thing that this team is missing is a reviver or someone who can keep everyone alive. Like I said, Ryan is probably your best example of somebody to bring in here. But we're gonna try. We're gonna try this. We're gonna bring in. We're gonna bring him in. Let's just see how this team functions. This is so you guys can see literally a bunch of different teams and how they are going to kind of function in this. And Spy Master is actually one of the heroes that I've seen in rare teams where people fight Hydra. She can work in here, but most people use like a bunch of other heroes. Now remember, she has counterattack, so if Spy Master gets stolen, you're gonna have a bunch of counterattack going on, which is bad. So see, there you go. But it was blocked, so that's good. The block buffs thing is very useful in this fight. And we have Ally Protect, I believe, right? With Mr. My boy there. With Myrmidon. I love Myrmidon. It's so funny how he's such a random ass hero, but he's like one of my favorites. So now you've seen a million damage team. And I feel like even my main team's gonna have some trouble in this fight because it's just a bad run. All right, we got block buffs on 2 enemies, which is super helpful, but we still don't have a reviver, remember. So there's that. Yeah, so still not going to work. All right, not going to be good. Let's free regroup. Now, having Spy Master actually seemed to work pretty well. So let's keep High Katoon in the lead because she stays alive. She's good. We are going to start bringing in other heroes that can do things like removals and reviving. So let's just say we get Ryan. I think Ryan was one of the first few heroes we had brought in. But just to show you what I mean, we're going to bring in now Drex. All right, so we're going to start bringing better heroes in. All right, one by one, just so you can kind of see the difference in the damage. Now, Drex is going to be the most drastic change in damage for your team, which is why I say you should definitely get him on your team as quickly as possible. He does have the provoke. Look at that. Already the HP burn is going. We've already got one enemy that's like, you know what? All those attacks where everyone's dying, they're going to be lit on fire. Look at that. Already 2 more people lit on fire. And this is where you're going to start to see that HP burn is a huge thing. And everyone seems to love attacking him, which is even funnier. And we do have block debuffs as well. I mean, block buffs, which is good. So that's going to help a tremendous amount in them not getting things up on themselves and stealing our buffs. So now look, the HP burn is where things are going to start getting crazy. And Drex is very defensive, so he can stay alive a lot longer. But basically what I've shown you so far is that it doesn't matter what team you put in there. Basically, yeah, there's going to be ones that are a little bit better. You just need teams that can do between 800 and 1,000,000 damage. If you don't have a bunch of heroes, you need one team that can do a lot of damage, and then just bring in teams that can do 300,000 to 500,000, and then you still get the win. So look at this. This is literally just bringing in Drex to change the fight. We were doing 700 damage, and the funny thing is Drex is going to do a ton of damage by himself, even if he's the last one standing. Look at that, 13, 14. This is literally just bringing one new hero into the mix, and this is why he's so good for this fight. Because every time they attack him, they're going to just get their own damage done. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that damage. This is why I say 1 HP burner is your unlock for this fight. There you go. We already got the first box, all right? Just from bringing Drex in. Everyone else is whatever. Just from having Drex in this fight. Look at that, 2 million damage, and they're just going to keep burning themselves. They're basically killing themselves, essentially. And he's in lifesteal, just so you know. You can watch any heroes, basically any heroes champion spotlight if you want on my channel. And there you go. Look at that. He's already busting heads. He's by himself. All right. And they still can't kill him. Look at that. Look at the damage we're doing here just from all the burns. 28. Boom. A head's down right at the last second. 2.8 million. Look at Drex. Out of 2.8, he did 2.2 basically. 2.18. I'll call it 2.2. All right. So just having an HP burn hero will drastically change the fight. And I wanted to build up to this because I want you to see how bad every other hero is in this fight. All right, free regroup. Let's go see. Now, who's the next one that's going to change the fight? Honestly, I would say the next person I would bring in here at this point, once you get Drex, the only thing that matters is staying alive. All right, so honestly, speed and protection. I would honestly just have, I don't even think you would need her. Unless, yeah, no, actually, she has a removal she removes the debuff, so she's actually useful. So I would say Kale doesn't need to be in here. All right, so now we've got speed, we've got fire, we've got block buffs, we've got attack up, we've got speed up and turn meter boost. So the one thing we're really missing here is a reviver, right? So now if you have Drex, more than likely you're going to get Syl. But before we bring Syl in, I want to bring in a different hero that is going to be your secondary. So we've got Tolog. Now Tolog can revive. And that's what we're looking for. We want revival because we want people to be able to be picked back up. Eventually my main team, I think my main team has 2 revivers. I believe 2, yeah. Because we use Arbiter, I believe, and we use Arbiter and we use Syl. Both are very good for reviving. Now let's see the difference in damage when we start doing other things. Popping it off. This video has gotten much longer, but I really wanted to just show you guys the progression here. Unfortunately, it takes a while to do these fights. So let's see if everyone stays alive longer or not. And if we'll see if Kale was really worth bringing in here. Look at all that nonsense. We got speed up, booms. We got the burns going. We've got some. He's got defense up, and he's got a heal over time, which is kind of nice. Even if it's enough to bring one apothecary back, it might be worth it. See, bringing one of them back might be worth the effort of having him on this team. Now, remember, the other thing we don't have on this team right now is Smite. So Smite is a big, big damage dealer. So essentially just having him up there to revive is enough to distract the team and keep other people alive. And he's very defensive, Tolog. We just want to, if he can keep Drex alive, that would be nice. But you're starting to see the randomness of this game. See? Even with him, Drex died. All right. So don't think that just having having a reviver just by itself will work all the time. This team could possibly do 4 million damage. I've had literally that big of a change. I've had teams that do 8 million one run. I'll run it again and it'll do freaking 15. So don't think that this is bad. All right. So this works too. It's fine. Let's start bringing some more advanced heroes in. So we're going to take you out. We're going to bring in Syl. We're literally going to go in order of the heroes I think you might have. So let's see the difference if we bring Syl in. All right. And if we bring Arbiter in. Because Arbiter is going to be a hero that most of you will get within this time range. It took me 200 days to get her. So we're still looking at that 6-month range. All right. And I don't have, I use mystery shards. So you have no excuse to not be able to beat those missions. So let's see the difference with having 2 revivers in this fight now that can keep Drex alive. And we've got removal of their buffs, so we can do that. The block buffs thing, and we have smites. So now we have Syl with smite. As you just saw, we got a nice little hit there. It's going to basically be side damage that we're going to be getting, which is kind of just bonus damage. You're going to see a crazy difference once we bring in the next hero. This is basically my progression into Hydra and how I got the damage I needed. Literally just getting Drex in my team, I started getting the boxes every single week. Literally every week, did not matter. I just threw Drex in with a bunch of heroes that can keep them alive, and that was it. You get one key, and as soon as I got my first box, I just didn't care anymore. I was like, cool, I got the box. I'm done. Unless there was a quest that said, fight the Hydra. 666. So now, let's see what happens here. It looks like we're having a bad run. Syl is not having it. She's all feared. Yep. See, this is where staying alive comes into play. See? Look at that crap. Destroyed us. Free regroup. Actually, yeah, it's to free regroup. All right, so what happened here? Well, a lot of things happened here. We don't have anybody that can block buffs. We don't have any extra people that can remove buffs. So yeah, this is probably not an optimal team. And funny enough, a lot of this is my main team. The only thing I change in this is two things. All right, so a couple things we change. Let's look. See, we brought in two different heroes. This is my main team now. All right. Honestly, just having a burn hero isn't all you need. And that's really, I could have just said that in the beginning of the video and it would be over probably. But let's see what my main team does. Now, I've had times where this team does 2 million damage. I've had times where they do 17 million. So now what we changed here is we now have Spirit Host in the lead. All right. And we have Syl. We have Mithrala, who can remove debuffs and do shields. We have Gerda, who can remove buffs from the Hydra. We've got Smite on, I think, 3 different heroes in this fight. I think Mithrala, Syl, and Gerda all have Smite, I believe. So we will be seeing more and more rocks dropping on people's heads, which is always good. We've got our speed downs. We've got Mithrala, who can do shields, which is going to help keep us alive, even though they'll probably steal them most of the time. That's basically all you need to survive that big hit is a nice shield. So if you have any shield heroes, I mean, obviously like Krisk, obviously is a really good one if you've been pulling shards. That other shield guy, the old geezer man, I forgot his name. He's a dwarf, I think. That guy does shields. Something with a B, I think his name is. See, we already got people dropping. Now, is that a problem? I don't know. We're going to find out. We have a bunch of people feared. If Mithrala does that, that saves us a little bit of time, see? So now we have time to actually revive people. The problem with Arbiter, and that I've noticed in a lot of the fights, is that she doesn't really revive very often because she uses her skill as a speed up skill. Now, honestly, it doesn't really matter. As long as Mithrala stays alive and one of my revivers, we're good. That's why we have 2. Because when one dies, inevitably, look at that. She's removing things. She decreases the turn of all the buffs. And then Mithrala comes in. Look at that. He stole my shield from Syl. And there goes more smite. So once we start seeing heads drop, that's when you're going to start seeing the damage pile on. Because you do a lot more damage when they are dead. And there goes Syl. So now we need my girl to do a revive, please. See what I mean? She's very unreliable, Arbiter. She's kind of like a whatever. All right, we got damage. There we go. Heads down. We killed a head this time, and everyone's back. We've got heal and speed up, and there goes my girl back down. Literally up and then back down. We need a shield from Mithrala. There you go. That would have been great if that went off. It would have saved Spirit Host. There you go. Dropping the meter of some of these buffs on this boss. And like I said, we're not going to move too far into too many heroes. I don't want this to be an hour-long video. We're already at like 40 minutes, I think, 35, something like that. Yeah, we're almost at 40. So I don't want to go too crazy. We've already shown you that a lot of random teams are going to be able to do this, at least get you some damage. Now, see, this is where it gets dangerous when Arbiter's down because she does a full revive. So getting her back up is the most important thing here unless Syl dies. If Syl dies, the fight's over. All right, so she just picked the wrong person to revive. This is where also you might want to stop the fight and kind of do your own thing. If you're really looking for damage and you want to get like a 6 million damage thing or you're going for your best damage, yeah, you might want to hold up and kind of stop at certain points when someone dies because you don't want the wrong person to get revived. Now, if Drex can burn the crap out of those next 2 heads, that'll give us some reprieve. There's actually 3 heads right now that are about to die. That'll give you reprieve and help you guys get your heroes back up. Boom. All right, there goes one head. That was the most annoying head, so that's good. But the problem is they just ate Drex. So now we need to focus on this head. There's another head down. All right, so we've got some. It was the worst time for that to happen. Now he's got a shield. I think that's the end. Now this team has done. This is what I was saying. It's random. Right now we're at 4 million. They ate Drex. Worst person they could possibly eat. And it looks like Sill's about to die. We've done literally 17 million damage with this team, with this exact team. All right. Just to give you an idea of how random this fight is and why I don't give a shit about it. All right. So if you guys are worried about Hydra, and this is why I'm saying all you need is that first box. All right. This fight is for people who have really, really good heroes that are consistent. All right. Unfortunately, a lot of the teams that we can build are not very consistent without having to do a full rebuild on some of them. Yeah, you could get a team that probably is reasonable with the heroes that we have, but as you can see, they're getting back into the game. It does happen. So I usually just let it go on auto and stop caring, but they ate my Drex. So there's really no reason. Like if this was a normal fight and I was going for my best time, which I'm not, I don't care. I would probably just restart right now because now Drex is gone and Drex is the damage dealer. So no reason to even continue because we know we're not going to get our best damage. All right. We are going to kill another head though. Wouldn't it be cool if you could kill a head and then whoever they ate comes back regardless of what happened? So yeah, I mean, essentially what this video is about is just my progression into Hydra and how we kind of moved along. Uh, just use as many rares as you can to get as much damage as you can in the beginning. Like just get your heroes to 60. You need 6 heroes times 3, level 60, that can do damage and keep each other alive. That's it. That's all you need to start. And once you have that, I think you should have no problem at least getting that first box. If you have a really good run and you have Ninja and you have Artak or you have Drex or you have these heroes, just bring him in, whichever one you got, protect his ass as much as you can. Put shields, revives, block debuffs, remove debuffs, defense down. I mean, defense up, attack down. You know, all these things help. So whatever you have, bring those debuffs into the fight, and I think you'll have a much better time with this. And I don't think you're gonna have a problem if you get an HP burner. Literally, I wish I could say it was a little harder than that, but in the beginning you probably don't have anyone good like Drex, so that's why I showed you that you can do it with the rares at least. It's definitely going to require some building. All right, so if you guys have any questions or things you want to talk about, feel free to put a comment down below. It's always good to hear from you guys. Like I said, this was just kind of a fun little walkthrough of Hydra and how I kind of progressed my teams, and yeah, it's been fun. All right, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. You help the channel grow. We do a live stream every single week, and yeah, you can become a member if you'd like for $1.99 a month. It basically gets you access to my videos as early as I post them, and one free video a week that has no commercials, which is really nice. And also, it gets you some emojis. So yeah, you can smile, put a smile on your face. So yeah, this is the annoying Hydra and everything that I can't stand about it. This is Mobile Gamer Nerd, and you guys take care.